5 years ago, the death of Lord Paramount Luke Whitewood rocked the political climate of the woods. His friend and liege, the High King Vaelor of House Bear, has never fully recovered from the loss of his dear friend. As a tribute to the old gods and his powerful visions, King Vaelor stands beneath the heart tree in the God's Wood of Bear Hall each morning to meditate and pray. Every now and then, the old gods will send him a vision. Situation, a bit of a revelation, a bit of intrigue has been discovered in the woods. It appears that the death of Lord Paramount Luke of the Den was no mere accident. He was murdered on the orders of Lady Paramount Perienne of Southwood at the age of 25. She killed him by poison, his lady wife. And so, through the green dreams of the High King Vaelor, it has become known that Lady Perienne's involvement in this can no longer go unpunished. And so, the High King Vaelor, being the honorable man that he is, the brave and gregarious Green Dreams character, has a plan. See, Lady Perienne is one of the characters deeply involved in the politics of the woods. She is our spy master, and her intrigue is super buffed. It's crazy. 28 intrigue. And yet this crime cannot go unpunished. And so in the dead of night, with no witnesses, and a close band of trusted advisors, the High King travels to Duskendale to complete the arrest. And so it is done. Lady Paramount Perienne of Southwood is now in our dungeon for a crime she committed long ago. I would say... How long ago was that? Oh, it's only 5 years. That's not that bad. The statute of limitations for murder in the woods is quite a bit longer than that, I would say. Yeah, she's currently in our dungeon. We have a righteous cause to imprison her, in spite of what the game thinks. And thanks to this band of close individuals in the woods, we finally have an idea of who put an end to the male line of House Whitewood. Basically, there's one surviving male, Lord Joshua, but he is just currently the spy master in the den. But in terms of the other line, the line of the line of Zachary Whitewood, the only surviving member is Lady Paramount Ravella, who is currently betrothed to Prince Alex, who is Prince Xavier's son. So matrilineal betrothal, she's ready to get married, but he is still a little bit young for that. I am actually going to take guardianship back over on her. I don't know how she ended up out of my Guardianship. Where are we? Oh, we're probably not an eligible target anymore. We probably have too many kids. Let's put her under Lionel Redhorn. Let's see what happens there. He's a formidable fighter, so hopefully she has a pretty good chance of becoming a formidable fighter as well. We do have an open counselor position now for Spymaster, which, let me just say, Lady Perianne was amazing at. But we are going to go ahead and put this girl, Alianne Barrows, who is an Andal, but she's quick. But we're gonna see how she does in the position of Spymaster. Everything looks good there. Everybody seems to be in a good position. We are going to take a look at our prisoners, Lady Perianne being the only one. And we are going to take some revenge. There was some talk during the Q&A about what we should do, what would happen if we did this, and you know, there's no escape for her. There's not. She's she's gonna be punished for her crimes. So she's gonna be humiliated. And it's going to lower her opinion of us, but it's really not that big of a deal. She deserves this, is the prevailing opinion. So humiliated, do it. So 30, oh, these are all 15% she gains stressed, 30% chance she gains humble, 30% chance she loses gregarious, or 25% chance nothing happens. So it doesn't look like anything happened. She was already stressed by the looks of everything. So there is all of that. So she has been humiliated. She still has a 100 opinion of us, thanks to that vassal transfer. That's hilarious. Publicly humiliated. She is going to sit in our dungeon for a year or two. She's gonna be in our dungeon for a year or two, and then we will see what we're going to do with her when that time finally does come. But Lady Ravella will become the Lady Paramount of both the Den and Southwood, so the influence will extend to this direction with the same Lord Paramount, which means it'll probably be time for another border change, and one of these titles is probably going to go away. It'll probably end up being up to the river right here will be, and of course Blackwater Rush, and then we will have the Southwoods be the Stormlands down here, and all that will change, but that will happen upon Lady Perianne's death. And we do have other fish that we need to fry in the meantime, so to speak. So we have Prince Alex, who has the bear pelt now, and we are currently waiting on the event to fire for us to go on another mission to obtain Valyrian steel. I am kind of saving some gold in the meantime. I don't want to encounter any issues along the way where we need some gold. I'm gonna use all of the gold that we possibly can to have the best outcome that we possibly can. So hopefully we can manage to make that happen. I think the usually it fires within the first 5 years, so we'll have to see exactly what's going to come of that. But Prince Estienne died of an infected wound in the last episode, so we are going to need to hold a feast in order to honor the dearly departed. Where is it? We need to wait till we're at peace, though, so we have to wait for this war to end, and then we can have a feast to honor our dearly departed son, and hope that the realm is better served by the new heir, Prince Alex of the Woods. 3 years old already. It's kind of weird to think about how old he is. It doesn't seem like that many episodes ago he was born. But yes, we have that. We also are going to be tutoring him, so hopefully he becomes something great in the near future. I'm very, very hopeful for. Fingers crossed. So, Lord Paramount Lionel Redhorn up here in the Redwoods has called in his favor on us from the last episode to begin a vote on tax-focused noble obligations. So a move in this direction. So our levies would go down significantly, but our tax would go up. I'm not super in favor of that, simply because it doesn't bode well if we do go to war. Although I will say our levies are fairly stacked at the moment, so maybe taxes aren't that bad to focus on for a little while. But I do want to start moving it over in the other direction eventually. We'll have to see exactly what comes of that. So, but I will say I'll allow it for the time being. It looks like we have a new king in the north. It is the son of King Ellery, who was king for a very long time. And he is King Garrett of the North. Doesn't look like that interesting of a character. There's also Prince Cleos, who is Lord of Bear Island. That's pretty cool. He's also married to a Stark, interestingly enough. He's married to his own aunt, by the look of it. Interesting. And then they have a son, Prince Roderick of the North. So, other than the neck, I have no interest in the North. We have Moat Cailin currently, and then I hope to be able to take this area, and perhaps even this area eventually. But that's not really in the cards right now. Right now we have other things that we need to worry about, namely, we have an adventurer in our midst that we need to press his claim. We need to press the claim of Quentin of House Hammerhorn. Commander Quentin, who is in our court per request. Knowing the strength of the woods and knowing the honorable nature of House Bear, he requested that we assist him in gaining back his ancestral lands. And so we are focused on doing that now. We're hoping that we can make something special out of this whole situation, and that Commander Quentin will become Lord Paramount Quentin, and then eventually King Quentin Hammerhorn of the Iron Isles. We do need to press his claim. I want to check, though, before we get into all of that, what we're dealing with over in the Iron Isles. Wow, that is not good. They have their current Iron King is currently stressed out and has the flu. He did have successful treatment, though, so there's that. But it's this guy, Iron King Gormund, who has Genius and Giant. His son Vicken has neither of those, and his other son Prince Roran has neither of those either. So his daughter also does not. So none of his congenital traits got passed on, which is disappointing, I would think, for the man who definitely needs a little bit more recognition. I think he's a good character that the game naturally produced. So interesting there. We are actually going to go ahead, though, and we're going to claim. I think we're going to do this in stages. We're going to claim Old Wick. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We're going to claim Hammerhorn for Commander Quentin. That's this little county right here. We do technically own Pebbleton too, so that will kind of increase our borders right there. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll claim it. We'll siege down, and then we'll claim the High Lordship, and then we'll claim the actual Iron Isles. So surely our Lords Paramount will honor their obligations. And hopefully we have, look at all those colors. Look at all those colors. Okay, so now we need to begin the process of raising our troops, and I think we can raise these up as well. We can. Fantastic. Is she not imprisoned anymore? How is she not imprisoned? Did she escape? What happened, and how did I miss that? Was she humiliated and released? Is that how that works? Well, not in my book. That's not how that works. Get back in jail, you. Okay, so she's still imprisoned. She'll sit there and rot, as she should. And so we'll actually go ahead and... It only has 9 ships. Okay, so we'll raise up those 9 ships. We'll actually raise up her men too, and just control her men. We'll disband our own personal levies, but we will need some fleets. We can actually raise up some more from right there. Those can go right there. And where else do we have ships at? Oh, we actually have some right there. That's fantastic. Can we raise up levies right here? We can. 309. We don't have the dragons, so we're not going to do that. They are able to siege that province down, so that does raise some issues, potentially, in the future. Let's go ahead and look at some mercenary fleets, though. Let's hire some mercenary ships. We need like 200 ships to carry all of them, but I think if we can get... I think we can get close to 100, then we should be in good shape. That's fine. We'll move all of those right there, and what we'll do is we'll split this unit in half. And then we have 10,000 strong armies on either side. Look, all of our lords and lady paramounts are gonna join our war. Look, she's complaining about her dark cell. How about the obulate? Okay, I've grown increasingly attached to Emphyria, and though our marriage was merely a practical arrangement, I wonder if I have come to love her. Oh, yes, we have. She'll gain fertility. That's fantastic. Okay, so we're in the process of landing our army up here. We're actually landing them on the capital of Old Wick. And we do have some Ironborn, like, actual armies that have landed. Not that I forgot, but one of the big things about being Ironborn is the fact that you can traverse these rivers in the middle of Westeros, which is a huge advantage for them. I had to sail all the way around the southern tip of Dorne and back up, whereas they just, zip right on over here. We are only able to raise up, it looks like, about 6,000 men right here in Bear Hall, and so we would be outnumbered unless we could gain the help of this army right here. And I think if we do that, I'm currently leading the other side, so we actually have a good amount of men right here that we can go and where is it? 75. See, I don't have any control over that right there. Let's see. I wonder if they'll take the hint and maybe come and help. If not, what we'll do is we'll stop in Red Shore and have kind of a brief look, if so to speak, like maybe an opportunity. Maybe we'll go around and connect with them and then go over. I think that may be the best option. But we're currently landing our army there in Great Wick, and we have the ability now. Roland Whitesteel needs a focus. He is conscientious, willful, and fussy. So it looks like probably the best option for him is going to be martial or intrigue, and he doesn't have a preference either way in terms of his base stats towards either one of those things. Same thing with stewardship, I guess. But definitely not diplomacy, even though he is excelling at that so far. We're actually going to give him the martial focus. We want good, strong male leadership in the woods, and Roland White still has the ability to maybe head in that direction. We need to appoint a designated regent, and we have some we have some council positions open because of the war, but we're not going to deal with that at the moment. We're going to kind of let all that go for the time being while we figure out exactly what we're gonna do. I can't believe I'm not the leader of that siege, ironically. I'm gonna leave those ships there, and let's see. Where is that army coming from? Army of Master Simmons. Bear's Claw. So Edric Weirwood is currently leading that army. I don't know where they're going, but maybe I can have them come attached to my army. I'm gonna let them stay and see if they'll follow that instruction. And maybe we can do the same thing. Yep, that does trigger that army right there. I don't know where the other part of his army is. Oh, it's all the way up there in the neck. I wonder why that is. I wonder why they're sailing all the way up there. Maybe that's where I guess that's where their ships are. So I wonder if now, if we start to move in this direction, if they'll hop on that order. They will not. Okay. So let's actually head back to Red Shore before we get in any trouble right there. And look, Edric's coming to join us. That's perfect. That'll be more than enough men. Okay, so we won the siege of the main holding. We have enough to deal with that Ironborn army right there. Where is their leader currently at? He's in hiding, okay. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Once we siege down all the provinces here, though, we'll head over to Hammerhorn, which is where the army actually, or where the war is actually being fought over, and so we'll siege that down as well. Okay, so we won that battle, and now we need to maybe lay chase as they head back over into the Claw area. Looks like that siege is moving rather slow of Drum's Tower. They're heading to the Whispers next. So we'll close in on them. And look, they're cornering themselves on Claw Isle. So we'll take advantage. Looks like that Night Watch invasion finally ended. And we'll lay chase to these guys again. That siege is going really slow over here. We do have 22,000 men landed, though. We've been assigned a new maester from the Citadel. Let's hope he serves us well. Maester Stefan of the Three Towers. He's a homosexual maester, but he's patient, shy, craven, and content. Pretty good learning. Not bad. We actually have his sister is in our court. And she's currently married to Leon Flowers, who is our formidable fighter, Master at Arms of House Frostarm. So that's good. And kind of interesting if you ask me. Okay, we'll go to Maidenpool with them. And I will clue you all back in once something interesting happens with the war. Hopefully we can manage to make a pretty mean difference here. Wow, I've never seen this event before. We've had disturbing news from Bear Hall of another atrocity committed by your vassal, Master Brendan. This is Brendan of Upstream. Apparently, Taya bore him a stillborn child, which triggered a terrible rage. He ordered all the midwives and wet nurses, as well as all their family, be put into the dungeon and severely questioned. It is reported none survived the horrific torture. He is truly mad. I think that would be cause for righteous imprisonment if that comes up. Just saying. Hey, so great news on the war front. Check this out. This is Lord Reaver Gilbert the Fat Harlaw, who, same house as his liege, was killed in personal combat in the midst of battle by Commander Brendan. What's up? That's awesome. Good job, Brendan. Fantastic. and wonderful job. Okay, check it out. So it looks like we have the opportunity here for Prince Alex to become a pretty good leader. He does have affectionate, which actually doesn't hamper a martial education, and it really has good outcomes no matter what. Kind, content, trusting, and family person are very good. And this would be the Prince Alex that's matrilineally betrothed to Lady Paramount Ravella, who we'll get to in a second. But content wouldn't be the worst thing for him, to be honest, because he's in a matrilineal marriage. He's also playful, which is great. Either one of those could work, unless it's lunatic. Obviously, that would be bad. And then rowdy. Rowdy has great outcomes, but it also has some bad outcomes. So it's kind of a toss-up, but has potential right there. Martial education, let's do it. He actually has really good base intrigue too, though. So that's always interesting. Lady Paramount Ravella, I don't know why her guardianship keeps changing. So Ravella, and let's see. We'll go with Maester Thorin. Oh, I guess because we're in Mega War, they're not going to accept it, and that's probably what caused it to happen. So, hopefully, her guardian's not great. It's Lord Jasua's wife, so hopefully she ends up with a good education, and we can make something great from her. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Wow, so not only is the current Iron King having to deal with us sieging down his main province, he also had peasant revolt. That's like one of the biggest peasant revolts I've seen in the Iron Isles in a long time. So I didn't know there was this many peasants in the Iron Isles. That's insane. So I think the war is almost done. I think once we finish sieging this down, we'll have enough war score to offer peace. Yep, we do. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to offer peace. Enforce demands. There we go. And so now we can take our army to Hammerhorn. Mega War will end. We'll reappoint the old council. And by the look of it, we can disband this unit. How are we not in friendly territory? I thought we claimed Hammerhorn. Did we not? Is that not what we did? Oh, we claimed Old Wick, by the looks of it, which is strange. The Lordship of Old Wick. I don't know why I did that. I could have sworn I claimed Hammerhorn. In either case. Now we can disband this unit, everything's fine. And so we have 2 provinces in the Iron Isles, ironically. And then you have Iron King Gorman II has moved his capital to the Lordship of Stone Tree right here. So all of that is good for him. Good luck with that. We will have a truce with him, I think, for a little while. Yeah, for another 10 years before we can claim the rest. But that's okay. We'll give Quentin a chance to beef up and become a good ruler, and then we will hopefully, or maybe he'll even have his own ability to press his own claim, and we'll be able to kind of supply him with troops or whatever. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a gift, a couple of gifts actually, because he only wants 15 gold. And I'm going to give him some money to hopefully keep him afloat for a little while. He already does have a daughter, that's cool, and she's quick. Fantastic. Good for her. Awesome. So things are looking up for now Lord Reaver Quinton. Lord Quinton of Old Wick. So fantastic there. That's exciting, and hopefully in about 10 years we can give him the title of the Kingdom of the Iron Isles, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm gonna make sure all my armies are disbanded. They are. Fantastic. Everything looks good. We need a new hand to the king, apparently. So our options are Tristan Snowbear, who has really good stewardship but very low diplomacy, which is not good for people who are... It's not really good for a hand of the king to have low diplomacy for situations where you have arrests and that sort of thing. Let's see. I guess let's choose Edmund. And let's allow Edmund to be our hand. Let's have him oversee the realm, and hope that our tax revenue doesn't dip down too much from that decision. It did a little bit. That's okay, though. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. We can righteously imprison Jonquil. Don't have any need to do that. Or this guy who wants to replace Leon Flowers as Master-at-Arms. You would be a good choice, but unfortunately, you will not, because you're not a formidable fighter. Yup. So we can command wars to end. There's a couple of them. Let's check and see how long Lady Perian's been in prison. She's been in prison for 1 year. So we will wait until she's been imprisoned for a couple of years before we do anything with her.